Yo, do us a favor and yourself a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to tap that notification bell as well so you can stay updated. Now let's get to the video.
It's your boy Groove Nuke right here, my guy, Everyday J. How you feeling, bro?
Happy to be here.
Heard that. And we are in the building with Determined Radio. How you ladies doing today?
We're so good. How are you
Super
guys?
good. We all good. Thank y'all for coming through.
All right, let's start. I got to ask both of y'all the same question. I'm only going to ask it one time, but it's for both of y'all. Where y'all from?
Go ahead, Stacey.
Oh, Chicagoland area. Homewood.
Okay, Homewood.
We just
North
had
side.
a Homewood native here.
North side.
Homewood in the north side. So what was it like for both of y'all growing up where y'all grew up at?
Well, it was super boring taking a school bus to school
Okay.
because, like, here in Chicago, that equals special needs.
or suburban.
What?
Or suburban.
What?
I don't know. And I was like the class clown.
Okay.
So I had horrible grades, but made it through school.
Fuck school.
That's what I say.
Yeah. Felice, what was it like for you growing up up north?
I was up north. Well, I grew up in the suburbs, north suburbs, and then I moved to the city on the north side. So all things north. Growing up in the suburbs was the same. You know, we took the bus to school, you know, until I got a car, and then I drove the car to school. So that was always better. But yeah, same. You know, suburbs are suburbs. Come on.
All right. How did y'all connect? Y'all remember that moment?
Yes. So we both were doing volunteer work for different agencies that were helping youth at risk for homelessness.
Okay.
And so all of the kids at the one program I was at, they said, you should check out Purple People. Come here. So I did. And everyone, they were just raving about Felice. I didn't like her when I first met her. She was just too energetic and happy and friendly. And I was just like, there's no way someone can be that bubbly.
How did y'all squash that beef?
I think she started talking to me and she remembered my name the next time I would come. And I was just like, okay, she's kind of cool. And then like after that, it was just like, I love Felice.
How did you win her over, Felice?
I have no idea. I didn't even know the story till like years later. I had no idea. I'm like, really? You didn't like me? Like everybody
You was
likes
just
me.
being you.
Like, yeah. When somebody told me this, that like if somebody said that somebody didn't like me, I would be like, what? How? How is that possible? How? Like I'm the nicest person, but okay, why? And then to say that, what she just said, really? That's how you not like somebody is because I'm too nice and bubbly? Okay, Stacey.
What got both of y'all into, helping at-risk youth? Like, what pushed y'all towards that?
So like when I was younger, I was in foster care. And so one of my biggest things were I wanted to make sure I helped other youth that were in care because like a lot of them ended up being homeless after they left the foster care system. And I was lucky not to. So in order for me to have, what do you call it? To not feel bad for not being homeless, I wanted to give back to the homeless.
Yeah, you went through it to help other people not go through it.
Well, I was never homeless, but
you said you went through the
foster care
program.
system. Yes. Yeah.
All right, Felice, what got you into it?
Mine really just started as, just feeding people off the street. I just fed people off the street all the time, and from that led to being in an emergency shelter and, helping them volunteer over there and feeding, at-risk and homeless kids. And from that led to Stand Up for Kids with Purple People. And I've been doing it for decades. Like before when I was single even, it's Aquarius. We're humanitarians. That's how we roll.
And she's much older than me. I haven't been through it in decades.
Damn.
Yeah, that was like, that was shit. Like damn, Kevin Hart.
Shade. Shade.
Are you both still active in those works today?
I was going to lie. No.
You were going to lie and say no?
I was going to lie and say yes, but honestly, no.
Okay. It was just like an early phase for you. But have you accomplished what you wanted to with at-risk youth during your time there?
I did. I still donate, make sure I do a whole bunch of stuff. I always want to make sure I'm donating to shelters that are actually giving it to people and not the Salvation Army that's selling it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the number one thing that I do differently. But as far as time-wise, I do not.
Okay. Are you still active, Felice?
Yeah, so I'm still at Stand Up for Kids. I'm on the board, actually, of Stand Up for Kids as well. So we do a lot of stuff. I'm doing more of behind the scene type things right now, just due to the fact because we have less days that we're open right now. So one of the days is the day I'm on radio, so I can't really do that. So I'm just kind of like doing stuff that behind the part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'll always be involved. I do fundraisers for it, like all that stuff. So yeah, I'm still there.
That's great. So with radio, how did you both come about with that?
With radio?
How did y'all start that up?
So that's my story. It starts with me.
For sure.
Well, literally, it starts with me. I starts with me. So basically, the story goes is that I was a manager for an artist, still am, a manager for an artist, and he was on a radio show, and called Ether on the Speaker. So shout out to Corey Ether, and I was just there, doing what managers do, hang out in the back, take video, do all the kind of stuff. And so we decided that we were going to go to 1 year anniversary of iLLANOiZE Radio. So, yeah. So we're at 1 year,
That's
1 year
great.
anniversary. Yeah. So we were there at Wire, and Corey Ether was there. And so during that time, he literally texted me while I was sitting there, and he was like, "You need to be on radio." And I'm like, "What?" And I look back, and I'm like, "Why are you texting me?" So he came around to us, and he's like, "Well, you're with your friends, and I don't want to bother you, whatever." He's like, "You really need to do radio." I'm like, I don't even know, like, I don't even have a radio. Maybe I had a radio at the time. Like, radio? I'm like, I don't know anything about radio.
Right.
So we get in the car. I'm telling everybody that was in my car, a friend in the car, and then my artist, and he's literally in the back seat, hitting the back of my chair. He was like, "You need to do it." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't know anything about radio. Nothing."
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah, but it'll take me to another place." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this is about you. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is about you. So you want me to do radio because it's going to bring you to another level? This is the problem?" I know. So I'm never going to forget this part of the story this time. So that night I got home and I hit up MH and I was like, "You're not going to believe what this Corey Ether's telling me I should do." He's like, "Yeah, this is like 2 a.m. This is part of the story he tells anyway. It was 2 a.m. He's like, "Yeah, you need to do radio." And I'm like, "Y'all are crazy, like crazy." So now I'm like thinking about it. The weekend's going, I'm thinking about it. I wound up getting on the phone with Corey for like 2 hours that Monday. And he's like, "You can have your own show. It's 2 hours on a Wednesday, da 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 da." And I'm like, "Can I have a co-host?" And he's like, "Well, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, you can have a co-host." And I'm like, "Okay, well, then let me think. Who's as funny as me?" I'm thinking, right? I'm like, "Oh, Stacy. Stacy's as funny as me." So I call up Stacy. I pitch her this idea. And she literally said to me, this is literally only the first thing she said. She said, "So wait, you're telling me that I could be the next Wendy Williams?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Okay, then we're doing it." I'm like, "What?" "What?" So now we're doing, what is this, November 10th, I think was our first show, 2018. And we wind up having Wild and MH literally did our whole show. Like, we're on FM. We can't curse. It's $500 a curse word. Stacy and I are frozen. We're frozen. I don't know. Did we talk?
I think we said hi.
I think we said hi. I listened to Wild tell like 100 stories.
That
you know
was
what I
a
mean?
start.
Like, we literally didn't talk. We were so scared. We were so
Due
scared.
to the fact y'all might curse.
For $500 per word,
I
and we both love cursing.
Yeah, exactly. But I was practicing before. I was practicing. But I think in the we were there for like 2 years at that stage. I think we only did it like 3 times. We said oh, I keep forgetting. We said a curse word, but I think after a certain time they weren't really paying attention to us, FCC. So we never got fined. But artists definitely got fined. We would even have like a piece of paper like right here in front of this mic. "Do not curse. It's $500." And we would have them sign a paper, and we would take a picture of their driver's license. So we never even saw, like, the owner of the station that was their deal, and it would go right to them. We didn't even, I'm not paying your $500. That's
Right.
never happening.
No chance.
Right? Not at all. So, yeah. So then, Determined Radio has taken off.
Heard that. That's
How long would
amazing.
y'all say it took y'all to get like comfortable with it?
I almost want to say maybe 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Probably something like that.
That's
Because it's nerve wracking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's nerve wracking. Plus, it was a different, we didn't have, our forum has totally changed from then to now as well. But like before, basically, I was a DJ because MH would send me a mix for like 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And I would play that mix and we'd take pictures and do all that. So like that has changed. But I think it was a good, like, we were definitely nervous, like a lot. You know what I mean? I think that 500 really hit us.
Oh, yeah.
That was the biggest too.
We also turned into like other people to like where we would say, we would sound like that one commercial, like, "What the fudge was happening
Yeah,
earlier?"
yeah.
Like we would just
Darn.
sound so stupid.
So stupid.
Even in real life, we sounded like
'cause
that
you'd have to, like,
because
keep-
we wouldn't curse.
Yeah. And then when we got onto doing it through the Spreaker app and being monetized and all that kind of stuff, like we got to the new studio at EJ Labiza's studio, and Stacey's like, right away, she said, I'm effing. And I'm like, I'm still saying fudge and darn. No, like she's like, we can curse.
Yeah,
I'm like, I forget we can curse now. Like, because it was embedded in my brain, that $500. It was literally like in my head that microphone equals $500. Like, I think it just happened,
Per curse word.
Yeah.
Did y'all go back and listen to every show to critique yourself? Because even with this, the only time I really listen back is when I'm editing and I'm chopping up clips. Yeah. Other than that, I was like, hey, Jay, you did your thing. You feel me?
I used to listen to every show. Every single one I used to listen to. And then I slowly stopped listening to them. And then sometimes I still listen to them. Sometimes because we play music for the first from 8 to like 8:30, 8:45 sometimes.
That's when I arrive.
That's my gym music usually, you know what I mean? And then once it starts like me talking or Stacey's just talking some, like, I put on something else. Like, I don't even listen to the actual interviews anymore. You know what I mean? Sometimes, I guess it depends on if I decide not to change it or not, but not like I used to. I used to all the time, yeah.
I just don't like the way I sound when I used to listen to it. It just sounds weird.
Do you think it sounds weird? I would just be like,
Yeah,
I said
it.
what? I did what? I said that. Stacey said that? Like, I laugh through it because it's funny. You know what I mean? Because we're funny. So it's funny. And I'm like, I don't even remember her saying that. Like, it's funny.
How has radio impacted you guys' lives on like a personal, like a self-development standpoint? Because you're in front of cameras, you're speaking into a microphone, so you kind of like what you giving out, you kind of come back in a sense. You know what I'm saying? As far as you gotta listen to yourself, you gotta watch yourself. So how has it helped you guys develop over 5 years?
So for me, I think it just gave me a little bit more confidence to be able to talk about myself, to answer questions a lot faster than I've ever been able to. And to think about certain things like what I just did, not to say and that awkward silence.
For sure.
Yeah, I was just say the same thing. You know what I mean? Like before, when we started doing, she just flies in, does her. She's got no notes. She doesn't know who's on the show. Like she has, like, you know what I mean? She's the fly-in one, but it works so well. Like I'm glad she does it like that. And then I was more at the beginning. Well, for a while, a couple of years.
Years.
Shut up, Stacey. I would be like, looking at the, all their Instagram stuff and like seeing what they're doing and their latest whatever and stalking their stuff and reading their bios. I'm not doing that anymore.
No, what else, Felice?
What
you
else?
left something else out.
What?
Your
I had
list
notes
of questions.
Like I had
her list of questions.
I would have questions because you don't want to
In
forget
order.
anything, and you don't want to forget anything. Now I don't do that anymore. You want to know why I don't do that anymore? Because I was listening to him. So Everyday Jay started that show. I think that's when it kind of started. He was doing the conversations with Jay, and I was just like, yeah, I like that. I like just having that conversation. Like, that is dope. Like, this is a better idea. Like, I like this. This makes more sense to me. Now that I felt comfortable enough to like remember basic things. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I like this whole concept. This is good. This is good. I'm stealing it. I told him. I told him I stole it. I told him.
To me, though, that was lacking in media altogether, like especially radio. Because with radio, you have a list of questions that you have to ask the artist.
Right.
And when we started, we totally was like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I ask for a bio just, for basic information to go off of. But I don't know if bro look at it that often. You know what I'm saying? I don't draw from it that much.
I look at the IG and I look at the bio, then I'm just like, okay. Then I ask, like, what you want to be called on air.
Yeah.
Then we take off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm better.
Yeah.
I don't look at anything. I don't even know who the people are before I get there.
Because I think it's better to have a real, genuine conversation. And also in that moment, it's easier to ask questions when you really trying to get to know somebody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's down there like you dating them. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
What's your favorite color?
Right. Seriously. Yeah. And even before that, so before the whole doing that part of it, I was learning, like, I was stealing questions from Brian Stenson on Fusion Radio.
Shout out Brian
So
Stenson.
bad. Like, I would steal those questions like you don't even know. Like, and he knew that too, you know what I mean? But like that, because I didn't know we didn't know one thing about radio, right? I'm a perfectionist. I know nothing about radio. I needed to do this right. I needed to figure, so I'd listen to his show. I've been on a show, I've co-hosted on his show. like, I'm not stealing his questions. I've listened to Jones a bazillion times too. I still listen to those shows. If I catch it, I'll see somebody's live and pretty much somebody's live real quick and I'll jump on real fast, But like, if you have a great guest, I'll turn. I actually have the app. Shout out to iLLANOiZE Radio. I actually have your app. I can show and prove it. By the way, like, and I
They're
listen.
giving out prizes for
if
that.
I knew,
Police.
like, I don't like listening to other people's interviews, especially if I know that person's, they're doing a radio, round, and so I don't want to hear any because I want to know myself. If I start listening to you about. Like you just had the girl that you just had, we had her last week. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to listen to other people's stuff because then it takes away from that interview for sure. For sure it does.
See, and then my other thing too, I usually feel rude when I arrive. Like, Felice, she's
bubbly.
Albino because I can't say the other thing.
Yeah.
So like she gets there really early. Like if it starts at 8:00, she's there at 6:15.
No, I'm not. I'm
That's
there
wild.
at 10 to 8.
6:15.
No, I'm not. Jill would
Too
never
early.
10 to 8.
10 to
Before
8.
the show
I'm definitely there
starts.
for 10 to 8. Like 10 minutes to 8. I'm there.
See, I'm walking in at like 8:29,
Because
8:35.
the music's still playing.
Right. She knows
Exactly.
music, right.
And I don't want to talk to the guests because then I feel like you talk to them and then now it's just like repetitive once you start asking them other questions. I hate repetition.
Yeah, I follow.
I'm usually just taking pictures and doing that kind of stuff. I try not to talk to them either. They'll start telling me something like, no, just wait. They do that sometimes. I'll be like, no, wait.
I'll do a behind the scenes video to show you guys that statement is not true.
That statement is true.
Put on blast.
True.
Do what you gotta do.
Right.
Now, I want to say we sat down like a couple weeks ago, and you said you was getting on YouTube, and you are now on YouTube.
Dude,
Congratulations.
I did that.
You made
Can
a
believe
channel?
that? I made a channel.
After
I know
all
nothing
these
that's
years.
happening right now. Let me tell you, I don't.
Oh, you ain't even upload.
I'm like, I put up like 6 or 7 things. I made a couple of shorts. I threw in shout out Rufus Sims. I threw in a couple people. You know what I mean? Like and it's like, and then it said once you get to 50 subscribers that you can go live. Yeah, they're lying. Just so you know, they're lying.
Yeah.
You can go live, but I think it's only for like 20 minutes or something. You have to literally get 1,000 subscribers in order to go live for real. Right. So they caught me there. They got me there because I was like, I'm at 50. It was 64, and I wasn't even live. And then all of a sudden, I happened to check it back, and they're like, "Oh, you can go live now. You can go live for 25 minutes."
25.
Until you get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm like, this is why people buy subscribers.
Cut that
I'm
corner.
like, there we go. Right? So yeah, I did it. I'm not that active yet. I'm gonna get there, But
Is it for?
said it. I was gonna do it, and I did it.
Is it for determines?
Yeah.
YouTube?
Okay.
And you guys are gonna be like looking forward to like putting full interviews on there. Like y'all gonna utilize the shorts,
Yeah, and we'll see. I'm at 64 subscribers, so subscribe to
Oh yeah,
Stern Radio.
you getting that shoot. It's hard to get YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, real hard.
Yeah.
So
Nah.
cherish each one.
It's a lot.
You spoke on using Spreaker. Now, when
Yeah.
I first jumped into radio, I don't know how long ago that was, but we was using Spreaker. So I don't use it anymore, you know what I'm saying? But talk about some of the benefits from that platform, because you only pay a flat fee every month. It ain't expensive.
Not
you
at
know what
all.
I'm saying? You can basically free range to do whatever you want.
Exactly. It's free range, and you can monetize it to iHeartRadio and to iTunes and Spotify. You can pick like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? So it's great. So I've been on it. We just stayed on it since we got off of FM. You know what I mean? And the only reason I knew about it was because Angel Beats has already started his show, and he was on the Spreaker app, and he's like, "This is what you're gonna do." I'm like, "Okay." I just did whatever he told me to do, basically. But yeah. So it's good. It's good. It's clear. It's easy.
All right, now, off air, we was talking about the events you have coming up, so go ahead and plug some of those.
Okay, so January 3rd is going to be we are kicking off 2024 with that, and that is Determined Radio and 23 Entertainment show that we do, a monthly show every first Wednesday of the month over there at Wild Hair. So thank you, Wild Hair, for letting us do that. And we can basically do whatever kind of show we want.
Mm-hmm.
So we've also let other people headline their own show, and then now we fall back.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's your show, but we're in the background. You know what I'm saying? We'll be there. We're going to get vendors for you. We're going to promote all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also a way to give back, too, because of the fact that we can actually let you see how that feels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if you want to see how that feels, so that you'll give that artist, let's say Johnny Dimitri, we had her, she did her own show, and she got her own people.
Mm-hmm.
She made her own flyer. You know what I mean? We had the logos of all of us, on there. We were there. We were at the door. We helped her do it and all that. But she never had headlined her own show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a way to do that, too. Because people are like, I want to do my own show. But they don't actually do it. This way they have a backup. they have some kind of backup to
Exactly.
help them learn how to do that.
The
If that makes
foundation,
sense.
you know,
Yeah, you
For
know.
real. And that's a great artist development too.
Yeah.
You know, this, to be honest, that's a lot of phase that
Facts.
some artists really don't get to go through at all.
Right.
You know? So,
They don't understand what it takes
Uh-huh.
either. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're always like, you know, trashing promoters and all this kind of stuff. And then they're like, people will tell them do your own show, but nobody actually knows what that means either. So then I handing them their own show. They're like, this is a lot more than I thought. Right. Right. It's a lot more. And so then I started noticing that those headline, they don't say nothing. They say posts like that because now you're understanding what we go through. You know, I've been doing shows for years, you know. So I'll see people trash it and whatever. Okay, well, then do your own show. Well, you still need to figure out how you're going to pay for the venue and the DJ and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So you can't say you're going to say pay the artist. I want to pay the artist. I've headlined people. I've paid the artist. But you also have to figure out how you're going to do that and pay the venue and pay. Now, what your door costs, like it's a numbers game now, you know. So once they do their own show and they've never done one before, then they're quiet. And they're like, oh, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm like, yeah. So, okay. So sorry. I went totally off. All right. So it's For the Culture, number 4. This is 23 Entertainment, Determined Radio. This is at the Wild Hare. The doors are going to open at 7. The show will start at 8. They close us down at 12. So it's a nice, like, even though it's during the week, you can still get to work the next day, you know. This show, this For the Culture 4, this is me and ID. So this isn't anybody that's doing their own separate situation. So on this show, we have Rufus Sims, Panamera Peace, Sinatra's I Am God, Unchi. How do you pronounce his name? Unchi? Unchie. It's something like that. Ray Bans, Kelly Hendricks, High Money Ransom, Frida Cashflow, and Ink Dog. So we got Rap-A-Lot in there as well, of course. We're going to have a media room. So we're going to have, right at this point right now, we have 11 sets of media outlets that are coming to do this show. We're going to have vendors as well in there. We're going to let anybody that's performing on this show, if they have merch, they absolutely can sell their own merch, of course. You know, I would never say no to that. And it's great, you know. So we're going to have Grey Goose in there as well doing some stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun show. It's January 3rd, Wednesday, 2024.
Right.
How's the parking?
Oh, it's street parking, or you
Get
can
there
have
early.
Stacy come get you. She'll be honored if you give her $10. You want more than $10? She wants 20 now.
All right, let me ask y'all my favorite question. If y'all can go back and give y'all younger selves any advice, what would it be?
You first, Felice.
If I can go back and what?
Give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
What did I say in my last?
Nope, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. I
Nope.
can make up a new
Yeah.
one. I would say I would always tell my younger self to make sure that you're consistent and you stay consistent through every single thing you could possibly do in life. Stay consistent if you want it.
Stay consistent.
See, all I can think about is if I could tell my younger self something, it would be I should have just video recorded all of the times I was just stupid and absolutely comfortable being that dumb. Because people are making millions just by doing the same dumb stuff I did 15 years ago.
Yeah, be
Hilarious.
viral than a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's hilarious.
All right. Before we get out of here, tell the people how they can get in tune with y'all, stay in tune with y'all, fan, everything y'all got going on.
Determined Radio Facebook, Determined Radio Instagram. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, and I'm Stacey A. Preston on Facebook and just Stacey 917 on Instagram.
Okay, Jimmy, talk to the people.
Let's get it. Shout out Felice and Stacy of Determined Radio for coming through and chopping it up with us on this Sunday. We really appreciate y'all for coming through, telling y'all story. You know, I would say just as long as I've been at iLLANOiZE, I've been knowing of Determined Radio. You know, so it's been around like the same time, about like 5 years.
Yep.
And you know, a lot of artists that they have probably come through for an interview or they could look for an interview. I always make sure I shout them out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always likewise, and that's always a feeling I got from you all. You know, so big ups to y'all on that. You know, y'all do well. Y'all be having great shows. You know, like for people of all ages. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when we in the grind or the thick of doing our things, we really don't know like what it's really doing. And you know, radio. That's something that we gotta kind of like bring back in mind as radio hosts and everything. Like radio is like opening doors. It's one of the best keys to networking. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really not a person who would be like, radio is dead, this, that, and the third. I don't believe in that at all. You know, yeah, I don't believe in that at all because I would say it probably fell behind because people forgot the key aspects of radio. You know, networking, helping others, building others, and and making sure you like spreading it. You know what I'm saying? Spread it around, just like it spread it across the airways. You know, so keep doing y'all thing. You know, it's only been, you say, 5 years.
Yeah,
Exact.
5 years. We
5 years
just
is
turned
that.
5 years.
Imagine another 5. What's planned for y'all in the next 5? Do y'all really know?
I don't know. I don't like big goals because that makes me nervous. So I do little goals. And like I
Sometimes-
said, one of that little goal was to get on Determined Radio, which I've been saying for so many years. It needs to do, YouTube page.
Mhm.
And so I did that. So now you got to move on to my next goal, which is to make it bigger and to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can go live. So people, help me out.
Sometimes you need them big goals,
Yeah.
those goals that
Yeah.
scare you because sometimes you got to look fear right in the face and figure out how you're going to take it down because, unless it's going to just be there as an obstacle sometimes. So don't get scared to set them, so
I don't like those goals.
it's just, you got to just test it. The worst you can do is fail and get back to the drawing board. So big ups to y'all, keep spreading it. No problem. Keep spreading the love, doing y'all thing. We locked in with you for real. So make sure y'all follow Determined Radio artists, upcoming artists, entrepreneurs. Make sure y'all get in tune. Follow their IG. Get on air, follow Ill Sound Radio, ILLSOUND Radio. Follow me, Groove Nuke, GROOVNUKE. Go ahead, download that iLLANOiZE app. We stream music 24/7. And Jay, what you got to say to them?
And I appreciate both of you ladies coming through on Sunday to kick it with us.
Yeah,
you feel me?
yeah.
Being open and honest with us about y'all fears and how y'all overcame those fears. I think a lot of people think it's easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone. And it take a lot of adjusting to get to do that comfortably, Like even with me, like I got a camera pointing at me, but as you see, I ain't looking at the camera, so it ain't even there. That's how I've learned how to deal with the camera, So I want to also thank y'all for being a platform for artists, because artists need people to sit down and talk to, what I'm saying? Whether it's their first interview or their 100th interview, what I'm saying? That's giving them a platform to grow themselves as artists, what I'm saying? And it's a form of artist development because it's not a lot of people out here that can give a good interview, what I'm saying? Have a great sit down with an artist. And y'all also throwing events. And like you say, you giving artists a chance to go behind the scenes and see what all goes into it. Because I think when most people throw an event and somebody shows up, it's like, I paid $20, but it was more than $20 for us to even put this shit together. You know what I'm saying? And that don't even go to the people that'll say, hey, can I get in for free? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all for standing on business. You know what I'm saying? Determined Radio, 5 years old, right? Yep. Shout out to y'all on that. And anything else y'all want to say before we get out of here?
Just follow us on Determined Radio. That's it.
Hey, we appreciate y'all
And
for
on
coming
YouTube.
through.
For sure.
Facts. Hit that subscribe button, man. Until next week, man. It's Ill Sound Radio. We gone.